the main danger was actually the sanitation problem. So, Burning Man has horrible sanitation, right? It's got this whole porta potty situation, and the porta potties are always terribly maintained. And, there's a constant fight because people keep throwing their beer cans down the porta potties, and then it jams the machines when they try and clean them, and blah, 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 blah. It's been a horrible thing at Burning Man for a long time. So that had been a weak link. And what happened is the porta potties started to fill up. And we were probably 12 hours, 24 hours away from having Burning Man's sanitation infrastructure completely break down. At which point it would have turned into a third world disaster zone, and it would have probably been a mass casualty event.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, the people on Playa who had real disaster medicine experience were openly discussing the risk of a cholera epidemic. Right? If we'd had one more day of rain, the rain forecast, if we had the rain that was forecast, there's every probability we would have seen a cholera epidemic at Burning Man.
So that's the porta potties overflow and then mix with the mud, and then it's just bacteria everywhere? It's
bacteria everywhere. And because you've got a lot of folks from Africa, from South America, from Asia, those are populations that are often non-symptomatic carriers of cholera.
Okay.
So they don't have any symptoms. They're not sick. Their bodies are fighting it off. They've got a few, cholera. They've got half a dozen organisms hiding in their colon, and they're fine.
Yeah.
But if those organisms get into the bodies of people that don't have the immunity from cholera,
right,
they get sick super fast. So the possibility was that we could have seen, Shigella, we could have seen E. coli, we could have seen hepatitis A. There are a whole bunch of things that could have gotten spread all over the goddamn place.
So we got lucky ultimately. It sounds like that it stopped.
It stopped for half a day. They got the trucks around, they emptied the toilets, then it started raining again, and there was another day of rain, and then it dried out. Right? But if it had rained continuously, what we would have seen is basically the porta potties overflow, a whole bunch of people then wind up setting up improvised sanitation in their camps, and it's very hard to do improvised sanitation safely. If you've got 200 people crapping in buckets, it's very hard to do that in a way that doesn't result in a lot of people getting ill.
Yeah, and so what does this mean for Burning Man, though? Are they just got to roll the dice and hope it works out every year? It sounds like that maybe there's either another place or more. Would more porta potties even help? I don't know, but it sounds like an engineering.
Absolutely, right? So I spent a lot of time talking to people at the org. I spent a lot of time talking to the Bureau of Land Management informally, off the record. I spent a lot of time talking to disaster relief medicine experts that have, really a lot of experience in dealing with this stuff in the real world, the kind of people that actually go to cholera epidemics and try to fix them. And I think it's going to be the mother of all clusterfucks. I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but from my perspective, it's just not very safe to be at Burning Man until they fix this. Because if they get another, huge rainstorm and the sanitation breaks down, somewhere between dozens and hundreds of people are going to die out there.